And I think that's all I've got for tonight. So, Echo Charles, I guess at this point, maybe since we're talking about walking, you could, tell us how to walk. Maybe not walk down the path a little bit.
Sure.
A little bit of an easier walk.
Yeah, a little bit. That there was actually a few other books where this was like that, where every situation he kind of goes through, you just get more and more exhausted. It's like you're exhausted because you kind of think like, okay, it'll start to let up. Yeah. And then it doesn't let up, and you're like, oh my god.
It's madness.
And then the storm.
If you put this into a movie, you wouldn't believe it.
Yeah.
You'd say, oh no, they're really gonna have a storm. Oh, they're really gonna hit a mine. Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I'm not buying that.
Yeah.
No, it's true.
Yeah, it literally does sound like something like someone would try to put in a movie to make it seem like, oh, his journey was so hard. Yeah, a real one, by the way.
Yeah.
And you kind of feel when he starts talking about, like, for some reason, I don't know, maybe it's because I'm kind of hungry right now, but when he's talking about he's starving, man, I was feeling the stuff. And then when he'd be like, yeah, when they switched.
So we're talking about a man that was lost 75 pounds of body weight.
Who was small to begin with, by the way.
He wasn't eating, and you haven't eaten in 4 hours, and you're throwing that out there.
I'm not comparing, bro.
You compared.
No.
You did.
I'm not comparing. I'm saying I kind of felt his situation. Fine.
Man,
that sounded
you
bad.
might want to edit yourself out on that one.
That sounded bad. Hey, I dig it.
I will say this. You know what I'm looking forward to? Tonight is I'm going to go. First of all, I've been traveling. I am tired.
Sure.
And tonight I'm going to go enjoy my mattress and my bed.
Yeah.
And I'm going to think about that when I'm crawling. I got a pretty nice bed.
Yeah.
It's nothing crazy, but it's nice.
Better than the floor.
You know what a California King is?
I do.
That's the biggest bed you can get.
It's the longest, yeah. Eastern King is wider.
Really?
Yeah, man. Me and my wife spent a lot of time trying to determine.
Well, I've got the California King.
Dang, bro. Cool.
And I'm going to get in that thing tonight with the nice bed spread on it.
Yeah. So you were feeling this pain a little bit extra too then when he was talking about like the floor and all this stuff, and then he finally got on that mattress that he hadn't been, no mattresses for years.
I think if you compare anything literally anything in that book, anything that he's talking about, you can just say, I have it good. I don't care who you are. Oh yeah. Big time. I got it so good. I'm just living in the lap of complete luxury. Bro,
you have read, the part when they were like, oh yeah, and then they'd feed us cookies and candy bars or whatever to fatten us up. When you were saying that, I was thinking tonight, if I want to, and I'm considering it too still right now, by the way, I can go to the store on the way home, by the way, and just pick up as many candy bars as I want right now.
Just candy bars, steaks, ice cream.
Oh yeah.
Just you can pretty much any possible thing you could possibly imagine, you can get within 7 minutes of departing from this podcast.
This place right now. On your way to your California King bed, by the way.
California King bed.
Yeah, and the sheets, and you have the strength
to
put your blankets over yourself.
Yeah, think about that.
That's cool, too.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to pull your blankets over yourself because you're not so malnutrition.
Yeah, and when the blankets are on you, that's kind of nice.
Yeah, it doesn't cause you pain.
Yeah, it doesn't suffocate because you're going to break your ribs or something like that. Yeah, bro. Big time. But you were feeling it though, I think.
Definitely.
Okay, for the people out there.
Definitely feeling it.
Okay, here's Jocko today, by the way. I witnessed his whole journey, well, more or less his whole journey, because I follow him on Instagram. So, 3:50 recorded wake up. So you probably woke up at the very
I think 3:45. Alarm went off at 3:45.
Okay, so 3:45 wake up.
I was in Denver. And then so I had to catch an early flight. I wasn't in Denver. I was in Boulder, so I had to get a car from Boulder to Denver.
What, 1 hour? That's 1 hour ahead.
I put one. Yeah, it's 1 hour ahead.
Okay, so 2:50. Wake up.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that. You gave me a little extra credit.
No, you were taking away credit. Nonetheless, 2:50 wake up, travel, which, like I said earlier, okay, so travel from Colorado to San Diego. To me, that's the day already. My day's done. My work is done. Let's face it, I got to recover from that. That's me. Okay, you come home, you do what? Workout. On your way home, you prep a little bit.
I finished prep podcast, and then when I got home, the first thing I did when I got home was finish the prep of the podcast. Okay. I had about another hour to do.
Okay. So then you shift mentally to a workout.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's the thing, where a workout, cool workout. I've worked out after, bro. When I worked at the nightclubs, I'd work out after a whole day and at like 3 a.m. Right? And I trained jiu-jitsu before work. So hey, here's the thing though. You make that mental shift where you're like, okay, you wake up at 2:50 a.m. You travel. To me, mentally traveling just kind of finishes me. I got to kind of recover, unless I have something lingering or something like that. Okay, there's that. And then you, still working, by the way, shift into workout mode. Yeah. Still in the morning, by the way. Okay, so workout mode, you get your workout done, which is we don't have to go into the details of it, but it's a it's a conditioning circuit.
Yeah, it pretty much took me, I don't know.
Yeah,
but yeah, I got a good solid little workout.
If personally, anyway, I'm speaking for myself. If I'm gonna skip a workout on a day where I don't feel like it's gonna be one of those workouts. One of those ones that you're doing, like burpees and this the junk ones, the painful. Anyway,
the one that gives you a little bit of get some.
Yeah, and then little get some, exactly right. And then you go to jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Do a bunch of rounds.
Yeah.
A bunch of rounds. Over an hour of straight rolling.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you have breaks between rounds.
Between rounds.
Yeah.
But it was an hour. It was about an hour and 15 minutes of rolling.
Okay, so that's a big deal. That's that's like maybe 2 or 3 times the amount of, we'll say, quote unquote, normal rolling, depending on who you are. Okay. And with like Andy, I saw Taylor here.
Andy and Taylor.
Oh, okay. So, all right. So it's not like you're going with some guy good. Maybe you'll catch a new girl or something like that.
No comfort rolls.
Okay. Here we go. Still on Jocko's schedule, by the way. Okay. And then now you got to do a podcast. Okay. So I'm trying to imagine your state of being in your mind. And then when he said the part, actually there's a bunch of parts when he's talking about on the ship and, the breeze and the basically the rest parts. I think you were feeling that.
What do you mean I was feeling it?
Because you have that state of like you put in a lot of work and now you're kind of on the backside to the recovery portion of the day.
Oh yeah,
So I think that part resonated with you. That's what I think.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right, well there it is. Boom. See, I know, long explanation, but still, just saying.
I guess so, but you got to remember that even like you just described my day, but there's people out there that did 5 times more than what I did today.
Yeah.
There's people everywhere that are getting after it more than me.
Some people every single day, Yeah, no, it's true. It's absolutely true. And it does, bro, and there's a lot of books like this, man, where
you know what kind of got me fired up was Dan Batt.
Dan Batt's here.
Yeah.
and the family.
It's funny. Yeah, and his wife. And so Dan Batt's a guy that's been like kind of in the game since day one. And so I knew him from social media. And as soon as I saw him, he's like, "Hey, and I was like, hey, what's up, man?"
Yeah.
We were old school. Yeah. But then, him and his brother and Dan was in the Marine Corps and now he's a government official still. He's still carries a gun for a living, right? And I was, he was all just like, he's like, "Oh, you going to record right now?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was pumped. And I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah, he was good.
That gets me, I'm stoked when people are stoked. He goes, "What?" He goes, "Are you covering a book? Can you tell me?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm covering a soldier's journal." I go, "It's awesome." I go, "It's about a guy on the Bataan Death March." He goes, "I can't wait till Wednesday." And I was like, "I'm going to go in there and crush this thing." Yeah. Yeah, Dan Batt, thanks for coming up and thanks for swinging by the gym.
Yeah, big time.
He didn't come and get me to roll though, unfortunately.
Yeah. Oh wait, yeah, because he was on the.
He was doing no gi. I was doing the gi.
The gi. Yeah. It's interesting. But is that? I mean, I know, we know, and you know. So as like, okay, I'm Dan Batt. I'm coming in. I see Jocko for the first time. He's over there rolling with Andy and Taylor, by the way. And I'm over here doing no gi. A little bit early in the jiu-jitsu career. Jocko's over there training hardcore. Do I walk over there and try to roll with Jocko? That's the question.
Yeah. Well, some people do, some people don't.
Overall, it's like, if I were to ask you that, you'd be like, yeah, come roll.
Yeah.
But, like I said, if I'm Dan Batt, it's my first time at Victory, I see you over there, do I do that?
Yeah. Maybe I overestimated I feel like I know him pretty well.
Yeah, you do.
And
the thing is,
he probably feels like he knows us real well.
He came up. He was like my other friend Anthony. He was like, "Oh yeah, that guy. He's one from Buffalo, jiu-jitsu and all this stuff. His name is Dan." I was like, "Oh yeah, cool, Dan." I meet him. I was like, "Hey, Dan," because I didn't make the connection that it's Dan Bat.
Yeah,
Just say it's Dan Bat, because we all know we've known Dan Bat from the beginning. Because for whatever, maybe I'm not looking at his pictures close enough or whatever, but when you were like, yeah, Dan Bat, I was like, oh, this is Dan Bat. Oh, and then I'm like cruising with him, you know.
Then you're
like
all in the game. Check.
Anyway, Dan Bat is on the path,
but
still on the path.
Way on the path. He's way on the path.
Even more on the path.
Yep.
Big time. And so are we.